Hi guys, it's Amanda with Getting There Green, and I'm out in the garden, and it is August 22nd, and it is a gorgeous day. It's nice and a little on the cool side. It's just like around maybe 22 degrees Celsius, and earlier today it was actually under 20 degrees, which this is the only cool day of the entire season, I am sure. It's going back up to like 40 degrees Celsius in the next few days. That's with humidity anyway. But I'm going to enjoy today while it lasts. So I'm in the garden, and I want to show you a little update on how well it has been doing, and just talk about things that I would do differently next year. Yeah. So let me show you some stuff, okay? Alright, this is what I've harvested today. We have, I think there's 5 patty pan squash there. I think they're also called like white scallop squash or something like that. A bowl full of tomatoes and 2 zucchinis. I would love for you guys to comment below on what you do with patty pan squash. So far the recipes I've made with it this year have not been very yummy, so I would like to try something new. These were all from a volunteer plant that just grew in the grass this year. I did plant patty pans last year, so these just came up on their own this year. And the lawn did really well. Obviously, it's only one plant, and there's 5 ready right now. They are quite big, some of them. These ones are a little smaller. I don't know at what point you're actually supposed to harvest them, so maybe they're too big. This year I planted a lot of sunflowers, and a number of people asked me why. Why did you plant so many sunflowers? And my answer all season has been because in previous years I would plant just as many, and squirrels ate them before they actually got to blooming. So I did the same as I have in previous years and just planted sunflowers every like couple feet. And this year the squirrels did not eat them, and they bloomed like crazy, and they're absolutely beautiful. And so next year when people say, why'd you plant so many? The answer is going to be because I want that many. They have attracted pollinators, and like there are always a lot of bees in there and other pollinators, but also they're just so beautiful. They've brought me a lot of joy. There's a bee right now. They have brought me so much joy this year that for sure I'm going to plant them next year. Along the same lines, next year, this garden bed right here, we put that there specifically to grow flowers to attract pollinators. And I see there's a lot of grass and stuff growing in there, and that's because of the bird feeders nearby. But there's not a lot of flowers, and I thought I had planted a lot of flower seeds in there. I thought I was overdoing it, but obviously I wasn't. So next year I will plant a lot more flower seeds so that really fills in more, because it's kind of not what I had in mind. I had in mind way more flowers than that. But they're beautiful. I love those cosmos. Beautiful. I love those flowers. Okay, so I've made a list. What else would I do? Okay. Well, let me just show you. There's a lot of tomatoes. I've had tons of tomatoes, and I've made lots of tomato sauce already this year. And perhaps I'll be making more because there are lots more tomatoes here. Next year, let me show you down here. I have some beets. Ooh. And they've done well, and I've eaten quite a few of them, but I did not grow nearly enough beets or carrots. Next year, I am definitely planting more beets and carrots. And on that note, Randy and I were discussing this, and we decided next year, well, there's some peas. I planted those for a fall crop. Next year, lettuces, that kind of thing, the greens, rather than wasting these nice deep beds, we would like to plant the lettuces in something else, maybe containers or a lower garden bed, so that there's more space for the root vegetables in these deep beds. The other thing, all right, let's move over to the herb garden. Okay, this is the herb garden, and actually it looks a lot better right now than it did most of the season. This year, I mostly let the herbs just grow as they wanted to. Basically, it's ones that grew back from last year. And I thought that was a good idea, but it turned out to be an absolutely terrible idea. It's disorganized, overgrown, lots of weeds. I had way too much cilantro and mint, and not enough of the herbs that we would like to eat. There is some basil, not nearly enough basil, and it's actually growing in funny places like in the walkway. And let me see what else. There's no dill, there's no oregano. So next year, this will actually be planned out and planted properly with what I would like to see in my herb garden. This was a disaster. Zucchinis, here's an update. Yes, squash vine borer in every one of my squash zucchini plants, but my philosophy this year was just plain to let them grow. And because I saw in previous years that they would still produce, most of them, so just let them grow, and it has totally worked. Yeah, they look kind of gross in areas. There's some powdery mildew now building up on these. They're dying off a bit, but they're still producing. We've had lots of zucchini this year. So yeah, I'm going to continue doing that every year because there's no beating the squash vine borer. My best advice for those with the squash vine borer in future years, because it's kind of too late this year, is bury the stems of your zucchini further along so that they root themselves again, so that the plant stays strong even though the squash vine borer is in it. And chances are my plants did that. They probably re-rooted further along their stems and just kept on producing. So guys, that's that. Post below your recipes for patty pan squash if you have any. That's my update at this time. If you guys want to, make sure you subscribe if you like this video and want to see me doing more gardening videos. And if you want to chit chat, head over to facebook.com/gettingtheregreen. And I will see you next time.